Our next lesson is on house accounts and meal plans. So to get started, we are going to go to File Update in the Administration category. We're going to scroll on down till we see house accounts. The first thing we need to do is set up our account types. So we go under Update House Account Types. We're going to add 3 account types here. What is an account type? Well, an account type is typically used for discounting. It's typically used in seniors for individual exports. So for example, in senior living, we would have 3 exports. One would be our associate export, another one would be departmental, and the third would be resident. But you can create these account types and link discounts if you wanted to right here. So we're going to do that. We're going to add 3 account types. The first one is going to be associate. Hit save. Add departmental. Save. Add resident. Save. If you have more than one billing cycle, you can do resident 1st of the month, resident 11th of the month, resident 21st of the month. But for most communities, simply having one resident account type is more than enough. Let's get out of here, hit stop. We're going to go back to the house accounts and we're going to verify and understand our meal plans. So, update account plans. Let's understand exactly what this means. So we're going to add a new house meal plan. The first meal plan we are going to create is one that has a declining balance. So we're going to call it, let's say, 250 Elite. Now, we can do one of several things when it comes to these meal plans. We can do, let's say, for example, $250 every month, or how about $125 a month with a 50% discount? Same idea, same number of dollars. Some people want to give a discount and give a lower dollar amount, or some people want to give a higher dollar amount with no discount. This tells you that if the credit has depleted, then we still want to continue giving them a discount. So if I check this off, it'll still continue giving a discount. Are they tax exempt while in credit balance? If they are tax exempt, which most plans are, then we will do that. Which taxes are we going to exempt? We're going to exempt state tax or whatever the case might be. If we have an alcohol tax as well, typically most communities don't have alcohol as part of their prepaid dollar. So then I would not check off bar tax here. And then do not apply discounted tax exemption on VIP tax. So for example, if we are giving, for example, associates a discount, then if they get that discount only if they charge to their account, then we leave this the way we leave this like this. If they get a discount regardless of whether or not they're billing or they're paying cash or by credit card, then we remove that check mark. Over here under account settings are your account balance. The account balance is the inclined balance at the end of the month. What do we want to do with that inclined balance at the end of the month? Well, we want to reset that balance to 0 monthly every 1 month on the 1st of the month. Under prepaid transactions, we can either give them a lump sum of money every month. So per period, let's say we want to give them $250. Or if we scroll on down, we can say per day, let's give them $25. And it will look at how many days there are in the month and we'll give them $25 per day. So I'm going to switch this back to per period because the plan is called 250 Elite. So we're going to give them $250. And now here it's asking for the reset type. Is it use it or lose it? Or are we rolling over? If we are rolling over, allow a partial monthly rollover only. So if I took this off, it'll roll over the entire balance. If I click this and say $50, it'll only roll up $50 to the next month. So I'm going to get rid of that and put this back to reset because most communities will use it or lose it. And I can also say limit prepaid usage per day to, so if I wanted to limit how much money they can use every day, I can say $30 here. And that would only let them use $30 of their $250 every day. Anything above and beyond that would go to the incline. So I'm going to remove that. And when do you want to give them their $250? Well, remember, our prepaid declining dollars are separate from our incline accounts. So we can have one incline account reset every month on the 1st, but I can have multiple resets for these declining dollars. So I can do one plan that declines every month on the 1st, another one that declines on the 11th, and one on the 21st. That is independent of the billable incline balance. But for now, we're going to keep things simple, and we're going to say, I want you to reset their balance monthly every 1 month on the 1st of the month. Now, below here is limit charges to the following item types. What is allowed to go towards the decline dollars? So I'm going to click that off, and I'm going to say, well, food's allowed. Non-taxable items or retail items in our grab-and-go bistros, those are allowed. The bistro items are also allowed, so cafes and so on and so forth. Catering is not, charity is not, services like beauty and barber, wellness, concierge service, none of these are allowed. And alcohol, some communities allow alcohol to be used for prepaid, some don't. If your community allows it, then you just simply check that off. If it doesn't, you remove it. And once I'm done, I hit save. And we've now created the 250 Elite. Let's do the same thing now for a community that has, let's say, a healthcare wing, okay, that uses meal credits. So, for example, 3 meals a day. Now, before we do that, I'm going to take you to another area that we're going to need to set up first. And once we set that up, it's going to help us with our meal credits. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to hit stop. And I'm going to go to configuration. And once I go to configuration, I'm just going to scroll on down until I see time zones. When I go to time zone, I'm going to add a new time zone. I'm going to call it breakfast. And breakfast will start at 4 in the morning. Why 4 in the morning? Well, Visual Touch rolls over its business day every day at 4 a.m. So we're going to say from 0400, it's all in military time, till 10:30 a.m. is breakfast. Hit save. Add. Lunch is from 10:31 until 1:30, which is 13:30. Hit save. And then, of course, dinner will be from 13:31 until 3:59 in the morning. Save. So we now created our breakfast, we've created our lunch, and we created our dinner. If you want to do some snacks in between, you can do that as well. So a breakfast snack, a lunch snack, a dinner snack, you can do that as well. So now that we've created our day parts, we can leave here and go right back to our house accounts. Let's go back to our plans. And we're going to create our 3-meal-a-day healthcare plan. So we hit add. We're going to call it healthcare. Oops. Tax exempt while in credit balance, absolutely. And they're going to only exempt the food. Account settings, so our incline balance for our residents that bring guests or they're purchasing alcohol, whatever the case might be. We're going to reset that balance to 0 monthly every 1 month on the 1st. They don't have prepaid dollars, right? We covered that in the last area for our last plan. They do, however, have points. So we'll go here. And under reset option, we are going to give credits points per day. So if you want to give them just 90 points, you could do that. Or if you want to give them 3 meals per day, you do credits points per day, put it to 3. The system will look at how many days there are in the month and it'll give them the appropriate number of credits. Reset type again, is it use it or lose it? Or are we rolling over? And if we are rolling over, how many credits are you allowing to roll over? We're going to leave that back to reset. We are also able to say we want to limit their credit usage per day to 3. So they can only use 3 meals per day, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner. But if we didn't do anything else right now, they could theoretically use all 3 credits at breakfast, at lunch, or at dinner. So if they didn't have one in the morning and one at night, one at lunch, they could theoretically use all 3 credits at dinner, so 3 dinners. We don't want to do that. So what we want to say is daily usage day part restriction right here. So we're going to go and we're going to click on this and we're going to say breakfast, continue, limit 1. Lunch, continue, limit 1. Dinner, continue, limit 1. If you were doing some sort of a program like breakfast plus 1, you could say, you could give them 2 credits per day, and you can say something like this. So breakfast, and then lunch or dinner, continue, 2 credits. So you have a lot of flexibility when you're creating this. So I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to get rid of that. Whoops. And we're going to scroll on down. We want to give them their money or their credits monthly every 1 month on the 1st. And what is allowed to be used? Well, only maybe item type food. And if they're allowed to eat their credit in the cafe or the bistro, you can click on that. If not, you just remove it. Just like that. You could also say, if you're allowing meal credits to be used for guest meals, you could also say limit guest meal to 3 credits per period. So you can say they can use 3 meal credits every month towards guest meals. You could do that. But most communities don't, so we'll leave that alone. And once we're done, we just hit save. And we're good to go. Now we can add an associate plan. Do they get a discount? Sure. Most communities don't give prepaid dollars to associates. They let them either put money into the account or we take it off their paychecks. So we are going to apply discount after credit is depleted. They're not tax exempt. We're going to go to the billable incline balance. So if we're doing a paycheck deduction, we're going to reset their account balance to 0 weekly every 2 weeks, and then whatever day your billing period ends for your payroll. So let's say every 2 weeks on Sunday. No prepaid settings and no points credit setup because we're taking it off their paycheck. So we can hit save. And now we're going to create another one called the departmental meal plan. So we're going to add, call it departmental. And there's no discounts. They're probably tax exempt, and they're going to be tax exempt to state tax. We're going to reset their balance to 0 monthly every 1 month on the 1st. And again, they don't get any prepaid or points. Everything goes to an incline account with a departmental charge. And we hit save, just like that. And that's how you create meal plans. Quite simple. Now that we've created meal plans, we can go on to our next lesson, which will be house accounts.